Hi everybody, I'm Jack. This is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Well, it's TGIF Friday, end of the week, end of the work week. Hope you all have a lot of exciting and fun stuff to do this weekend. I'm just going to pretty much take it easy and get some work done here at home. Anyhow, I want to talk about the raw food diet and greens and my take on Fruitarian by instinct. I do videos like this every day. So if you're not already subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button and then click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel and know when I have new content out, which is pretty much every day. Yeah, I was just doing some studying on greens this morning, looking into a couple of things. I actually got the train of thought got started when I was looking up some stuff on wheatgrass. I'm just about to. I got my seeds the other day. I don't know if I mentioned about a week ago I went to Pensacola, or no, I guess it was last Saturday. I went to Pensacola, got myself some little plastic trays. I got myself some really good soil. I got a big bag of soil and got some good instruction on how to do it by the vegan that owns it. So was looking into some stuff on wheatgrass juice, and then, you know, like I say, I'm just always this kind of a continuing education with me on this lifestyle, so I started looking into greens and the various minerals and this and that and the other. Now, before I get started, and with the word fruitarian in there, there's a lot of people out there that are fruitarian, and they do not like the greens. They don't believe in the greens. They don't eat greens. Everything is achieved by fruit. What I would say to these people is, if you don't want to eat greens, I am not forcing greens on anybody. This is just kind of telling you my take on the subject, what I do for myself personally, and just kind of getting out of the whole geeky, what does the book say about it, what are the, what's all that kind of stuff, but instinct, what does my body tell me about that? And, your mileage may vary on that, depending on, how long you've been doing a certain type of lifestyle. Like in the very beginning, I'm not for completely everybody relying on their instincts, but I feel like after 5.5, almost 6 years, I'm starting to hone in, and my body tells me what it wants to eat, what it needs to eat, and how it works the best. And also too, I just kind of go back and think of like the best times in my life. When was I feeling my absolute best? Now, as I even put the word fruitarian in there for, I guess, just for purposes of discussion, I don't actually even know what the official qualifications are for that label, but I'm going to say fruitarian, anybody that eats, say, 70 to 80% of their calories from fruit. Whereas I'm sure there's some fruitarians out there that maybe eat only 100% fruit with no greens in there. And once again, that's up to you. But if you're probably just hardcore fruitarian, fully raw is law, you're probably not watching me in the first place. Instinct. Fruitarian by instinct. Why did I put that little phrase in there? The reason I put that little phrase in there is because I believe myself, and I don't think I'm that much different than other people. Like, once I adapted to this lifestyle, and it kind of transitioned over to it and got used to it, that is what my body calls for almost all day, every day, is fruit. That's the bulk of my diet. That's the cornerstone of how I eat. And everything about it feels natural. I like to eat large quantities of fruit. When I was in Costa Rica and I could get, pretty much anything I wanted, you guys probably remember, if you've watched me for any amount of time, like I would just, like an animal that came on a tree, I could just get into mangoes and just eat mangoes and mangoes and mangoes. So I like that. My natural instinct goes to making a meal on large amounts of fruit, really large amounts of fruit. And I like that. And I can go like that for a very long time. And I've done that for a while. But one thing I notice, there's always that kind of, after a while, like too much of a zing. For me, there's a lot of reasons that I include the greens. Number one, I just feel we need them for our life, to balance things out. But I need that balance to kind of balance me personally, like just to bring that energy down. I think I spoke about that in a video either yesterday or in the last few days. That, sometimes when I'm just doing the fruit without the greens, I kind of get that zinging thing. And those greens will, kind of bring that down just a little bit. Not like bad, but just, kind of make it a little bit less intense. One thing that I like, another reason I like the greens a lot is there's just a lot of nutrients. Now, people will argue that you can get all the nutrients you need with fruit. And that could be possible, you know. I like when I hear these explanations, I still kind of think of it as, okay, that's fringe type information. It's possible, but I see a lot of people that do thrive on a fruitarian diet. But without adding some form of greens in there, like even, I think, remember going back to a talk I watched by Don Bennett at the Woodstock Fruit Festival, I don't know how much he eats in the way of greens, but I know he does supplement with daily green boost. Because it's got all these, and the main reason I go for the minerals and the daily green boost and all these different things, or the reason I go for the greens, the powders, what have you, is the minerals. I just feel like, you know, the way the soil has been so depleted that even if you feel theoretically that we get all the minerals and everything, trace elements, everything we need through the fruit, the soil's just not what it used to be. So, you know, you can bring that, I believe you can bring that back into balance by adding these greens in there. They're just an excellent source. I was just trying to think of all the different things that the greens do have for us. They're high in calcium, iron, magnesium, potassium, folate. The greens are full of chlorophyll, which is a natural liver cleanser and detoxifier. I think there's just certain things with the greens that we are not going to get from the food. And especially, you know, for detoxification purposes, those greens, and especially kind of more the bitter greens for cleansing the liver, for cleansing certain organs. It's just, I don't know. Every fiber of my body, every instinct of my being just tells me I need greens with those, with the fruit. Now, as I'm starting to use the wheatgrass juice, I was looking up on this, and one thing that I noticed on the wheatgrass juice is it's very heavy. Now, I was talking about those minerals over there. It's got some of the ones I talked about, but wheatgrass juice is heavy on iron, copper, and zinc. And I know zinc is one of those that I've wondered about in the past. Copper is kind of, you know, there's some of those minerals that you're just like, okay, you kind of like, oh my gosh, I hope I'm okay on those without actually focusing on them. So I feel like by eating a lot of fruit and then balancing that off with the greens, and then, you know, once I get this wheatgrass going, having maybe a daily shot of wheatgrass, and also adding my daily green boost to at least one of my smoothies every day, I feel like, you know, at least I'm getting closer to where I need to be, because I'll be the first one to tell you, I don't eat. Even though you see me doing a lot of greens in the smoothies, I talk about greens, I eat salads, I made a green soup last night, I drink at least one green smoothie, if not two a day. I probably still, I don't eat as many greens as I should. I'm not even sure that every day I get a full pound of greens eating them in there. So that's why I try to get a little bit extra oomph with the daily green boost. The spirulina is kind of a different matter, but then now with the wheatgrass juice. Wheatgrass juice, I've just always liked that, just that I know that wheatgrass juice is doing something. I get charged. It feels like it charges my cells when I do a shot, and I'm really excited to. I've never had the chance, and that's going to be a fun little experiment. I've never really had the chance to do wheatgrass on a daily basis, just because I haven't had it available. You know, when I go to Pensacola, I can get it there, and if I lived in Pensacola, I'd probably have, let's see, what is it for an ounce shot of wheatgrass? I think it's $2, so that would be about a $60 a month habit, so I could get my juice. So looking forward to getting that up and running. But yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot I can really say about this one. And that's why also, I will add this though, one thing I would like to get back to the juicing, especially now where I'm not getting a ton of fruit. It's almost like I concentrate on what I can because of where I am. You know, I'm going to be real honest with you. My body's a little stagnant now. It's a little dormant. It's a little restless. It's a little unhappy because all I'm living on is bananas pretty much. I'm not getting that tropical fruit. So I'm kind of one of those type people. Instead of focusing on what you're missing or what you don't have that you want right now, double down on something that you can do. And I feel like right now I'm just going to double down on the greens. and getting as much nutrition in my body, as many nutrients in my body as possible. But in the end, it all seems to be working okay. Like I don't want to intellectualize this thing too much. I'm a physical person. I'm not about reading about it and going, okay, now this person or this book says do this, this, and this. Bottom line is what it comes down to. Are you getting the results you want, eating the way that you're eating? That's the bottom line right there. Me, I can say yes to that. I'm getting the results I want. I'm getting stronger. I'm going to the gym. I was in the gym yesterday, and the way I'm eating here and having a gym to work out at, I definitely have increased in strength. Now, this isn't any big numbers, not here to impress you, but I was for the first time able to get 10 full reps. Like I had 135 pounds on the bench press, banged it out 10 times. That ain't a lot of weight. That's not the point, but it's about improvement and getting stronger. I had gotten pretty weak. Now the last year on the mountain, I had my dumbbells and I was doing body weight training, but I just really feel that the greens, I know that the greens, I know the smoothies, I know the spirulina, and I know the little extra bit of oomph that I get from, Daily Green Boost and just the greens in general helps with that strength in the gym, helps with that muscle building, that repair in the gym. Now, I don't have anything to really compare that to because I can't exactly tell you, okay, how many reps was I getting with what when I first got back to the States, because I hadn't actually bench pressed in a while. I hadn't had a gym in a while. But I can pretty much say I had to work my way. Like there was a while there, I wasn't even putting 135 pounds on the bar. So it's a win. And it shows that you can progress. You can, this subject, a different subject, but that you can build strength and muscle on this lifestyle. Ergo, you must be getting enough protein or your body would not be able to grow like that. But just going to leave you with that. Look into it a little bit more. Don't be so, extreme and I think we have to have more than just sweet fruit all the time. And I know a lot of the fruitarians, and a lot of the fruitarians I like a lot, and a lot of the fruitarians I respect will disagree with that. And I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with anybody that, has their own thoughts or disagrees with what I'm saying, as long as they're not so in your face and trying to recruit everybody to eat like they do. That's one thing I noticed at the Woodstock Fruit Festival by talking to some of these people that, I don't know, I would consider kind of hardcore fruitarians like Don Bennett and Ted Carr. Like Ted's a good example too. There's a lot of things I'm not going to eat like him. He eats different, whatever. But Ted's he's a very respectful guy. He's not like always in everybody's face telling them they need to do it. He does his own thing. Don Bennett does his own thing. Most people out there that are thriving do their own thing. They don't necessarily have to have the approval of other people. Chris Kendall as well. He's been doing it for ages. And Chris does the greens though. Chris, I think, is a proponent of the greens. But anyhow, I'm just starting to ramble now. But get your greens in. At least try it out. Try to see how you feel. Experiment with yourself like I do. Do the only fruit thing. See how you feel. Then add greens in. Get plenty of greens in a day and see if you feel better, see if you feel worse. If you don't feel better, then by all means don't do it. But in my opinion, and to finish with, we need those greens. We need those greens in there. And my diet it consists of mostly fruit, balanced out by greens with a certain amount of healthy fat. And I believe that is how I'm going to thrive for many more years to come, hopefully. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Love you guys. Peace.